What's good, YouTube? I'm gonna make this one quick, as quick as I can. What's my opinion on Nofap? My opinion on Nofap. This is something I've considered in my life. Thought about it a lot. Well, I don't know about a lot, but I've thought about it from time to time. A lot of the Nofap guys that I see online are kind of weird. Something about these guys are just kind of weird. I've read some things about it, and I've read that a lot of, I think what happens with porn guys when they watch porn, I think what happens is they feel guilty, and I think there's probably several reasons for that. First of all, I think particularly in America, we have kind of a Puritan Christian background where doing bad and sinning, particularly sexual sin, is like really frowned upon. Well, when you go to like Europe or you talk to people from Europe, they have a really laissez-faire attitude towards sex. Like they could take it or leave it because it's not such a big thing, because they don't have this puritanical Christian background. Which the irony is, America is a very immoral place. We're just immoral, not so much in an outward way, in our social culture, which is very weird. We have kind of this repressed culture, this kind of repressed, particularly when it comes to sex. Our culture is very repressed. And I believe it's because our country was founded on these Puritan ideals. Particularly against, for some reason, sexual sin. And I think this has a lot to do with why guys feel so guilty about porn. Because it's some kind of, like, it's the wrong thing to do, and it's just something in our culture, man. We're very much like, we think like, oh, sex is for love, but the irony is, our women are so sexual. Our women are so bereft of any kind of sexual morality, which is ironic because we have this puritanical foundation. You would think our women would be more moral, but they're actually not. They're just moral in a phony kind of way. They're moral in an outward kind of way. They do a lot of dirt behind the scenes. Right? Which is part of our problem in the red pill, right? And the irony is, if we had a more laissez-faire attitude towards it, like they do in Europe, we would probably get along with our women a lot better, and we would probably, ironically, be more monogamous, and we would probably, ironically, be less sexual, because it's just basic psychology. When you tell somebody they can't have something, they want it more. And because it's repressed, because our society represses sexual immorality, we do it more in a way, right? It's weird. It's a weird thing. And in a way, it's better. Believe it or not, it's better. Because if we had a more laissez-faire attitude towards it, like, oh yeah, I could, sex is whatever, like, it's just kind of a normal thing in other countries. Like, like even alcohol is not even that bad, because it's like, oh, you turn 18, you can go buy some beer. But in America, you got to be 21. And there's all these rules. And it's like, when you have more rules and laws and social stigma, it makes things better in a way. Like, oh, I got away with it. It makes it hotter. Like, oh, this is kinky because I'm not supposed to be doing this, right? It's a kink, right? Kind of why girls like older guys and these, they like things they're, black guys, they like things they're not supposed to like. Because when you tell somebody they can't have something, it makes it better. So in a way, porn is better because we feel like we're not supposed to do it. Like, oh, it's so hot. Like, it's just this weird psychology thing, right? So there's that. The other thing is, I think guys feel guilty because they're not earning anything, right? They're not earning it. It's free. It's like, it's right there, you know, and you know, they feel like, oh, you know, I did it myself. I didn't actually achieve anything. I didn't actually go out and get a girl, which is really not the right way to look at it. The right way to look at it is this. I just made myself happy. That's all. And it was easy and it was fun and I enjoyed it. And that's it. And I'm going to close it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. That's the right way to do it. That's the right way to look at it. I made myself happy. I didn't put all this pressure on myself not to do it, and then I did it, and then I felt bad about myself. I just removed all that. If I do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't. Doesn't matter. Either way does not matter. Either way, it's a benefit. If I don't do it, maybe there's some benefit there, right? Maybe I have more energy. Maybe I'm, you know, focus my energy on something else. Great, benefit. If I do it, I made myself happy. It was fun. Great, benefit, right? That's the right way to look at it. Now, people act like porn is this really insidious thing. I've talked about this a lot. It's not. There's no trafficking. I mean, I'm not saying there's no trafficking at all, but most of it is not trafficking. So you don't have to feel guilty like you're some kind of proponent of female trafficking, because most of those women, like 95 to 98% of them, they really, really enjoy it. You can tell. And they're getting paid for it. And there's no problem. Now, if we're talking strict morals, is porn moral? Fuck no. Is fornication moral? Fuck no. It's not. You should wait till marriage. You should find somebody you love and keep sex within that scenario. Period. It's wrong in the sense that it's not love. It's wrong in the sense that, you know, it's not, it's a proponent of, you know, feminism where, and I think to some extent it hurts women and it hurts relationships, because I think fornication in and of itself hurts relationships. Porn is just somebody had a camera. That's all. People are already doing it, right? People are already doing it. Porn is just somebody had a camera. That's the only difference. That's it. Okay? And somebody got paid for it. That's all. It's not any more immoral than fornication. So people who act like porn is this evil entity in and of itself, no, it's not. It's not. Now you could argue that porn, because of its how it's found on computers and the internet, that it harms young people. Okay, I'll give you that. Maybe they need to make stricter barriers to access it. I don't know, but I guarantee it's not going anywhere. Right? Now, on that note, I've felt in the past that porn in and of itself, or not in and of itself, but porn in the sense that it's accessible to young people is bad, very insidious, because it can warp young people's perspective on what love is, which is arguable, of whether or not that's going to get warped anyways, because they're gonna figure out that women are very sexual. Let's put it this way. I don't know, because I've never been a woman in my life. I don't have those hormones. I don't have those genes. But I know when I was younger, I wanted to get married. Okay? Women didn't want to get married. Women did not want to marry me, or they didn't want to get married in the age time frame that I wanted to get married. They probably wanted to go have their fun until they're 30, which is what most of these young women do. They sleep around until they're 30, and then they get married. I wanted love when I was like 16, 17. You could argue that's pretty young, but I did. I wanted someone to love. I wanted a girlfriend to love, and it just never happened. I wasn't cool enough. I wasn't this enough. I wasn't that enough. And that's when I sort of first got introduced to the red pill via female nature, where I realized, oh, I gotta be the top dog, I gotta have high status, I gotta be good looking, I gotta be a bad boy, I gotta dress a certain way, all these things, right? All these things that I talk about, all these things that we talk about in the red pill, that we know that women are like this. Oh, they go for the bad boys. They go for the guy who's on the basketball team, like I was. They go for the guys who, got the cool car and the cool clothes, right? All these stupid ass shit that has to do, with women's animalistic behavior, right? Which is just hypergamy when you break it down. And then you think, oh, well, maybe that's just these high school girls, or maybe that's only some women, and then you go looking for the ones who really love you, and it never happens, and you realize, okay, well, that's actually female nature. And then you realize love is conditional. Love as described and defined in Hollywood, in movies and film, is not real. Only insofar as you're a good provider, you got high status, you're good looking, looks, money, status, right? Then you can find love if you check off her boxes of what she wants, all these conditions. So real love as defined, such as I will never leave you if you go broke, in the vows. I will never leave you if you get sick in the vows, right? The marriage vows that they used to talk about, they don't anymore, right? The real love, right? Unconditional love, that's not really real. And that's when you learn that, okay, well, it was all bullshit and the red pill is right. Okay? But you learn at a certain age that women are sexual. You learn at a certain age that there doesn't need to be a camera for her to be sucking cock. There doesn't need to be a camera for her to be, getting banged by 5 guys. There doesn't need to be a camera. She's doing that stuff anyways. The camera's there because she wants to get paid and she's having fun, and she was going to do that anyways. Girls are doing that anyways. They're going out to bars and they're getting tag teamed and they're getting trains ran on them. That's happening anyways. That doesn't just happen in porn. And some people think that. Some people think that kind of stuff only happens in porn. Wrong. It happens in real life all the time. Porn is just, the only difference is there's a camera and there's money involved. That's it. They're doing that stuff anyways. You think most of these girls look unnatural when they're doing that stuff? No, they're right at home. They're right in their comfort zone because they're doing that stuff anyways. Look at how comfortable they are when they're getting trains ran on them. That's what they do. So I think what guys get twisted when they watch porn and they want to do Nofap, etc., is they think that, oh, porn is some kind of evil thing, some kind of like, oh, it's this whole institution that women wouldn't be like that if it wasn't for this evil porn. And usually for some reason it's liberals who think this. I don't know why. From my experience, it's a lot of liberal guys. I hate to say it, but I think liberal guys lack a lot of brain cells. I think they lack a lot of IQ. I really do. I mean, God bless them, I guess. In some ways, they're right when it comes to social checks and balance, social safety nets and support systems. I'm with the liberals. I'm with them on that. I'm with them on some things. I don't want war. I'm with them on that. I want peace. I'm with them on that, But when it comes to their SJW shit, I gotta draw the line. I'm not with any of that stuff because most of it is just illogical. It's unreasonable, unrealistic, illogical, irrational. Porn is not this evil. Porn is just a camera. That's it. It's not this evil thing where like, oh, porn is the problem. No, it's women. Women are the ones who are doing that stuff. And because these SJW types, they always have this like trigger in their mind where like they revert to, oh, women are always the victims. And it's just like, do you ever let a woman take accountability for her own behavior? Can you ever do that? Because when you always give them this fail safe, when you always give them this out and say, oh, well, you're a woman, so you can't be at fault. It just keeps them, being childlike. It keeps them having the mentality of children. They need to take accountability for their own behavior. Yes, I did this porn because I wanted to get paid. I thought it was fun. I was doing this shit anyways. That's the truth. So say that. Don't blame women. Blame, it's porn. Don't blame men. Which is what's so, and this is the insidious part where Mia Khalifa gets on and she blames male culture. It was a culture that made me sell my body. Well, okay, well then, now that you're married and rich and you own a condo in England or whatever the fuck, she's worth like $4 million and she owns a condo in England, which by the way, most of that was given to her because of her fame. She didn't make that money in porn. Porn catapulted her to fame, and then she made the money by making appearances, etc. Getting paid to go on ESPN or some crazy shit that I've seen where she was doing some kind of sports commentary with some NBA players recently. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a porn star. What the hell does she know about porn? Oh, she went to a couple basketball games over the years. Okay. Yeah, probably because she was getting banged by the power forward. Anyways, right? She made $4 million off of the fame that porn gave her. And she owns a condo in England, and she's married to some beta fucking cuck guy who doesn't care that she's probably loose as a goose, and she probably has a couple STDs to her name, right? Because they all do in porn. Girls sleep around. It's common, very common. Do the Googles, do the research. STDs are very common statistically for people who are sexually active. People don't like to use condoms. I never seen Mia Khalifa in a porn video with a condom, and you could say, oh, well, they test them before videos. Yeah, bullshit. I doubt it. And if they do, they probably forge it. So so she's married, so she's no longer in that culture, but yet she still has an OnlyFans now in 2021. So she did this whole campaign in 2018, 2019 about how, oh, the porn is insidious and it preys upon young women. And it's a porn culture, blah, 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 right? And then she goes and she starts an OnlyFans. Oh, okay. Right? She starts an OnlyFans. A year or two later, after she does this whole campaign about this whole campaign about how she's a victim, and then she starts an OnlyFans after she's totally out of any culture that would prey upon her. If you got $4 million to your name, you're out of culture. You don't need culture anymore. You're your own culture. You're rich now. You have a condo. You're rich. You don't have to work for the rest of your life, but playing a victim and writing a book is profitable, apparently, because I think she wrote a book during that time too. So yeah, writing a book and playing victim. Oh, okay. Like, we're supposed to believe you, Mia Khalifa. And I did videos on this in the past, and she's full of shit. And now she has an OnlyFans. So it's like, this woman is a liar to a T. And what she's really doing, she's just playing on these type of fail safes where people are saying, oh, porn is this insidious thing. And she's playing up to that so she can make money. That's all. Again, women are doing this in their everyday life. So I think guys, again, particularly these SJW guys, they feel guilty. They think porn is wrong and this, and it's like, no, sex without love really essentially is wrong. If we're going to talk about morals and biblical righteousness, sex without marriage is wrong. Okay, period. Whether it's porn or any other thing. So you really shouldn't feel guilty for watching people have sex because they're already wrong. So you're wrong and they're wrong. So it's like, again, it's not porn that's wrong. It's sex before marriage. So there's that, right? So there's that. So there's lots of ways to feel guilty over this. But here's the thing. It's not, you have to have a release. The issue is that we were supposed to find somebody when we're young. You're supposed to find love and somebody that you want to be intimate with and spend your life with when you're young. God made women beautiful for a reason, so that we could be intimate with them every day of our lives, so that we could share our life with them and be intimate with them in a sexual way. In the confines of marriage, that is normal and good. God made us sexual for a reason. so we can enjoy sex. I don't believe God doesn't want us to enjoy sex. The problem is that when we're enjoying it outside of marriage, the problem is this world is so corrupt because the devil runs it, unfortunately, that people don't want to get married when they're supposed to. You're supposed to get married like 19, 20. You've maxed out on puberty. Now you're an adult. You leave the house, 19, 20, you go out and you find a career so you can support yourself and a family, and you find the one you're supposed to love and the one who loves you, and she chooses you not for your money, not because you're a good provider, but because she loves you, and she's going to be with you through thick and thin, whether you lose your job or you get sick or whatever, because that's your girl and she's your guy. But everything today is so fucked because the devil's here on the earth, and people are so fucked because they put money above God, and they put money above love, and they put lifestyle and circumstances and all these standards that they have above love. And then to top it all off, we have all this immorality because of modern feminism, which says, yeah, girl, you can go have sex, you can go fuck around in your 20s and get married when you're 30. You got a good 10 years. Wrong, because there's so much that can go wrong with that. STDs, unwanted children, and it's common. 40% of single women are single mothers. 40% of single women are single mothers. That's a direct result of promiscuity. You're supposed to find someone to love when you're 20. Then you won't have to worry about porn. You won't have to worry about fap. And if you do, if you're fapping to porn and you got a wife, then you got a problem, because that's when it ends. The only reason you should fap to porn is because you don't have a wife, because you got nothing else, because jerking off in the shower sucks. Men are visual. We need something to look at. This is why God made women so beautiful, why he made their curves amazing. Oh, look at that ass. It's amazing. Look at those tits. It's amazing. I just want to touch it and hold it and be intimate with it and cuddle with it and have sex with it. That's how he made us. The problem is women are selling themselves. The problem is women are taking that beauty that's God-given, and they're distorting it, and they're selling it to pornographers and OnlyFans and Pornhub and cam sites. That's the problem. The problem is they're distorting that beauty, which they should give away to a man for free for the purpose of love. And they're selling it for the purpose of lifestyle. They're selling their tits and their ass and their beauty for a lifestyle, for the guy who has the best car, the best house, the best lifestyles that she can get for her relative beauty. This is why you've got all these dumbass bitches, these Instagram models, chasing assholes like Dan Bilzerian around, because these guys have just hacked it. Dan Bilzerian, all he did was hack female nature. He figured out what turned them on, and he hacked it. Oh, women like money. Women like guys with yachts. Women like guys who have all these cars and do all this dumb shit. So, and he's not even really earning these women. He's paying them. Women like money. They exchange their sexuality for money. Beauty is a commodity to be sold. That's the distorted world that we live in. That is the sick world that we live in. That's the satanic world that we live in. And women are proponents of this. So anybody acting like, oh, women are trafficked and it's this, it's not their fault, get the fuck out of here. They know exactly what they're doing. They're the ones selling themselves, whether it's for Pornhub or OnlyFans or Instagram, or it's out at the club wearing those tight skirts, or it's to a guy for marriage who's got a nice house. They're selling themselves in one or more mediums, in one or more venues, one or more aspects. They are selling themselves. That women are always selling sex. Is this the way God intended it? I don't think so. Is this the way nature intended it? That's a good question. I don't know, but you could make the argument that nature itself is corrupt from the fall of man. I think the Apostle Paul, in the book of Romans, he talks about this. Nature itself, it has been corrupted because Satan's on this earth. This is why animals kill other animals. You know, people who are Darwinist and science-based, they have teeth. That's what they're supposed to do. Maybe. I don't know. It's pretty fucking carnage, right? It's pretty fucking brutal. I think that the deer who's being eaten alive by a bear doesn't want to die, right? You say, that's the circle of life. Well, it's not very happy for that deer, is it? Right? And the Bible says when God comes back and he ends this current evil age, that the lion is going to lay down with the lamb. What does that mean? That means there's going to be no more carnage like that. That it implies that is a product of the fall of man, when Satan came in and corrupted mankind and he corrupted this earth. If you read the Bible, that's what happened. Now, you don't have to believe that, but I think we can all agree that that's not fun for the deer, right? I think we can all agree that the woman who's hypergamous and she's rejecting the guys who don't make a certain amount of money and she's chasing the guys who do, that's not very much fun, is it? Fun is not the right word. That's not very much love, is it? That's not very much love when you choose a guy because he makes $60,000 over a guy who makes $30,000, or a guy who makes $150,000 a year over a guy who makes $75,000 a year because of the lifestyle he provides. You don't think women are doing that? Think again. Or she chooses this guy because he's better looking than this other guy because he's not so good looking. I mean, what about love? What about love? There's plenty of beautiful women out there, but I want one that I can love, right? I don't care if she's less good looking. She's special to me. I fell in love with her. Her face might not be as beautiful as this other woman's face, but I don't love that other woman. I love her. You see? I don't love her because of how beautiful she is, because of the beauty and sex she provides me. I love her for her heart. I love her for her personality. I love her for her uniqueness because there's only one of her. Do women view men the same way, or are we all just exchangeable? Oh, he's not doing this thing for me that I want. I better go get somebody else. He doesn't want to commit to me or have this kind of marriage. Well, that's not part of my agenda. He doesn't have a house. He can't take care of me and my kids. That's not part of my agenda. I've got this agenda, right? That's not love, man. You see? So let me get back to this Nofap. I think Nofap guys are kind of weirdos, right? To a certain extent. I think these guys put too much emphasis on it. And the only thing that I've considered with Nofap is that maybe it harms your energy if you do it too much. That's it. I think that to some extent, watching porn can kind of hurt it can kind of make you depressed because, you're not getting it in real life. And so it kind of makes you depressed. You're like, God, I want that, but I can only get it on this computer screen. And maybe that, and maybe it hurts your energy if you do it too much. But here's the thing. People are supposed to come. Guys are supposed to come. We're supposed to come. It's natural. But again, I got to go back to this fact is that we're supposed to come with one partner. We're supposed to be married to one partner. But we can't find that partner because we got to make money first. We can't find that partner because we got to impress a girl and their standards are so high and they're not normal. They're not looking for love. They're looking for the best possible male. They're looking to fulfill their hypergamy, right? So we can't do that. So we got to, some guys are getting it every day. But again, it's this condition. Guys have adapted and said, okay, well, if I want a wife, I got to make the money and I got to do this and I got to jump through these hoops. And I'm going to talk in a video in a second here about what are the benefits and drawbacks of actually getting married. One of the benefits is you get consistent intimacy, but you have to pay for it, right? So it's a kind of a neutral, it cancels itself out. There's a benefit there, but there's also a drawback. Yes, it's a benefit to have intimate sex consistently, but it's a drawback that you have to pay for it because that's a mind fuck. Why do I have to pay for love? But you do. Sorry, that's the way life is, right? So you might feel guilty from the fact that you're not earning it. You might feel guilty from the fact that it's not actually a real woman. You're just pleasing yourself. And that might psychologically make you depressed. And if you do it too much, it might make you low energy. It might make you tired a lot. Well, do it less because you're supposed to come. We're supposed to come every day, pretty much. Married people have sex every day. Good married people. If you're not having sex every day, something's wrong with your marriage. Something's wrong with your attraction to your partner, and that sucks because that can happen, right? But you're supposed to be really physically, intimately attached to your husband or wife, and you're supposed to be intimate every day because guys need it every day, and I think women like it every day. Sorry, it's what it is. So we're supposed to come every day. So guys who make the argument that, I lose energy. Well, yeah, maybe if you do it 8 to 10 times a day, that's a bit much. You do it once or twice a day. I think that's somewhat normal. I think we're supposed to come once or twice